Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is a 2019 overview. So we'll be focusing on the energies for each sign for each of the months. For my returning viewers, welcome back. And for new viewers, welcome. I'm glad that you found me here on YouTube. The way that the reading is done, I pull a card for each of the months, plus I pull an extra card for sort of each quarter. So we take a look at each month and then sort of look at that quarter as a whole. And it's just to kind of see what energies are surrounding us as we move through, or as we look forward to 2019. For the reading, I'll be using the Tarot of the Spirit deck by Pamela and Joyce Eakins, and I will also use the Zillich Tarot by Christine Zillich. These are general readings. I like to remind everybody that the messages may or may not resonate. The only way to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading from me. If you are interested, all of the information can be found in the description box below this video. All right, so I will stop for now, and we'll see each of the signs in 1 second for the shuffle. Hi Cancer, hope you're doing well. I'm here to get into your 2019 overview. As you can see, I have shuffled off camera and laid the spread to save a little bit of time. The way that the spread is set up, around the outside we have one card for each month of the year. The inner circle, it's one card, as sort of an overall energy for that quarter of the year. And then at the center of your reading is the heart of, the overall energy of the year. So beginning with January, you have the Four of Water. This is the Four of Cups. It's called the Flood in this particular deck. Followed by February, Major Arcana number 14, Temperance. And March, Major Arcana number 3, the Empress. And the overall energy for the first quarter is a repeater. It's the Empress from a different deck. So starting off with the Four of Water, Four of Cups. The Suit of Cups deals with our emotions, our feelings, relationships, intuition, psychic abilities. And usually, the Four of Cups has to do with feeling bored, feeling apathetic, not feeling happy or satisfied with something. So a situation, a relationship, could be, where you're working. And usually there's, it shows a person like a woman, or it shows somebody staring at the Ace of Cups, this chalice, right? The Ace of the Holy Grail of whatever it is that's, that this person is wishing for, and not sort of paying attention to other opportunities around, or just, in general, looking very bored with that situation. In this deck, it's called the Flood. And it has to do with, you've outgrown something. You've outgrown a relationship, a situation. You no longer fit there, right? It's time for change. Things, what once was good, or what made you happy, now, it's like it's grown stale, it's grown old. And really the only thing that that remains is change. So change is definitely on your mind as you begin the year. There could be a slight delay in this change because we have Temperance, and Temperance can be a delay, but there's divine timing at play here. So possibly a delay to a project beginning, a delay to whatever this new change is, or this change coming in. But there's a reason for it, right? There's divine orchestration, divine timing at play. The Temperance can also have to do with balance and moderation, right? And having or finding that moderation in all areas of our life. It can be, balancing, having that balance between our home and our work life. It can be also taking on, this more tempered, this more moderate approach to different areas of our life. So all things in moderation, not overspending, not working too much, not drinking too much. It's all of the areas in our life within, in this balanced, very tempered state. you have in March the Empress. And the Empress can be, and she does appear twice here in this first part of the year. So for some of you, no, this will not resonate with everybody, but for some of you, there could be very fertile energy surrounding you. So if you're looking to get pregnant, there could be, around the third month of the year, there could be news of a pregnancy, news of a birth of a child, whether this is you or, somebody close to you. There's definitely very fertile energy surrounding you at this time in the third month, but kind of in the first part of the year in general. And the Empress can, in addition to physically being pregnant or giving birth, the Empress can also speak of giving birth to new ideas. So being more, having this sort of fertility surrounding like creativity, so coming up with new ideas, giving birth to new projects. It's, threes in the tarot they're expansive energy. So it has to do with growth, expansion, right? So this could be a period of growth for you as you move out of one situation. You could be there could be this growth expansion into another situation or another job, another relationship. Obviously, again, it will be different for everybody watching. Now, in the month of April, you have Brother Earth. So this would be the Knight of Pentacles. In the month of May, the Eight of Fire, Eight of Wands. In this deck, it's called the Lightning Path. For the month of June, you have Major Arcana number 18, the Moon. And the overall energy for the second quarter, you have the Knight of Wands. This is the Knight in this deck is actually the King. This would be the King of Wands. So, beginning here with Brother Earth, this could be, when we have court cards appear in the reading, and I'm looking over the rest of the spread. Now, these seem to be the only court cards that you have. There can be actual people playing a significant role at this time. If so, this would typically be more of a middle-aged earth sign individual, male or female, but Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And, he is, out of all of the knights, he is the slowest moving, right? He's the slow and steady wins the race. So he's very dependable. He's very hardworking. It might take him a while to get wherever he's going, to achieve whatever it is that he wants to achieve. But, he knows that his accomplishment, it comes about through a lot of hard work. He will achieve it. And he will put in the effort, and he won't give up until he gets there, but it's sort of like it doesn't happen overnight. That all changes by the time you get to, the middle portion of this quarter, so this is May, because you have this fast-paced energy, right? The Eight of Fire, this is very exciting energy. It's news coming in very quickly. This can be time-sensitive news coming in. So, like an opportunity that you might need to act on quite quickly. It can have to do with travel, right? This is changes in the air, travel by air, news coming in by sort of text messaging, emailing. If you have been looking for a job, this could be news coming in about that, positive news. And it's exciting, right? It's called the Lightning Path. So it's kind of like this exciting change that comes in here. Change is in the air. And we do have as the overall energy, this Knight of Wands or King of Fire, King of Wands. And he, out of all of the, the kings, he's sort of the most exciting. He has all this exciting, is very fiery energy as the King of Fire, King of Wands. And this Eight of Fire, it really speaks of this, it's a period for initiating change. And it's, this period of very fast movement, fast growth, fast development. So, there's a lot of fast-moving energy coming at you, and so you have to kind of keep up with it. Now, the next month with the Moon card, this is This is interesting because, with the moon, there's a lot of internal, right, of sort of listening to that inner voice, listening to your intuition. I love how I think it's such a beautiful representation of the moon. And you can see that, obviously the moon, it's associated with, the subconscious, with the dream state, listening to or paying attention to messages that come through in our dreams. It might be, for this month, it might be a good idea to keep a dream journal even. And, the moon, different than the sun, which shines its light to enlighten, the moon does shine its light, but it also casts a shadow, right? And so with the moon card, we are asked to trust in, our intuition, in that inner voice, in order to make our way forward, in order to find our way, through this darkest hour. So we might not be able to see everything very clearly yet, right? But we are beginning to, through this process of trusting in the messages that are coming through and trusting in our intuition. So we're moving forward. Yes, there might be this sort of, lightning jolt, this very rapid forward momentum, or this news that comes in to kind of jolt us, to move us forward. But we are doing so by also listening to, our inner voice. So it can also have to do with fear, right? The moon cards are possibly facing fears, or, shedding light on our fears here. And by doing so, that will move us forward. And, again, this King of Wands could be an individual. If so, this would typically be an older fire sign individual, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And he is a visionary. He is a trailblazer. He's not afraid to go if there's something new. He's not afraid to be the first to go after it. He's very charismatic. He's a born leader. So, if this is not a person, I feel this is just you taking on this energy, and you're very, fired up and excited to go after whatever this new opportunity is. Now, the third quarter begins with the month of July. We have the Four of Wind. This would be the Four of Swords, and it's called Mastery in this deck. For August, you have Major Arcana number 21, the Universe. This would be the World card. And for the month of September, you have the Seven of Water. This is the Seven of Cups, and it's called Insight in this particular deck. And you have another repeater card. The overall energy for this third quarter is the Seven of Cups, which is the Seven of Water. And that's been happening. A lot of the readings I've had repeating cards, so repeating messages. Beginning with the Four of Swords, it can represent a healing period, so a period of needing to retreat, withdraw, heal mentally, physically, emotionally, meditate on next steps. What is it, that you're going to do next? And it's called Mastery because in this particular deck, it has this slightly different interpretation where, this time out, it's a necessary and important one for you, in order to, you're kind of like in this holding pattern, right? But it's a necessary holding pattern. If we think about what comes before the Four of Swords, the Three of Swords, it can be a difficult setback, a disappointment. And so there's this, there's a need for, much like we had, where was it? Over here with the Temperance card, where there might have been some type of delay, there's this necessary time out here, and you need to kind of regroup. It comes after this, this thinking and following your inner guidance. There's this period of mastery where you're reflecting on everything before moving forward, before having this big change with the Universe card coming in. And the Universe, it speaks of a significant chapter in your life coming to an end. So this can be you, ending a relationship. This can be you ending a job. This can be, it's a card of completion, but it's a significant completion, right? It's ending a very long chapter in your life. So obviously this is going to play out in different ways for everybody watching. but it's something significant coming to an end. And, it's also the what comes in next, right? This new beginning. With the World card, it can have something to do with travel. We also have the travel over here. There could be travel involved. There could be traveling to a different country, something to do with the world, traveling to a different place in the world. And then we have the double message here of what is it that you really want. That's, the Seven of Cups. Cups, again, we had cups over here, deals with our emotions, feelings. And, the Seven of Cups asks us to choose, to really focus our attention on something and choose. Because while everything is just up in the air and we're kind of thinking, oh, that would be nice, or that would be nice, and we don't actually pick one thing, it's all just very daydreamy, very, up in the air, pie in the sky type of energy. So with the Seven of Cups, we're asked to focus our attention, to focus on that one cup, the ace, the chalice, the Ace of Cups. Focus on what it is that we want, and then go after it. So until we do that, we kind of don't have any of it, And sometimes if you're considering, for example, moving or changing careers, and you're checking out different jobs on the job boards, they can all sound great, and you can read one and think, well, that might be nice, and read another, and well, that pays a lot, and that's, and you're kind of comparing them all. But until you actually pick one and say, you know what, I'm going to apply for this one, it's all just up in the air. So there's a need to focus and pick one. In this particular deck, it has a slightly different message as well. It speaks of this void that's in the middle, and how, a lot of times we use different things to try to fill this void, but it's not that ace. It's not really, what we truly desire. So, which is love, which is happiness, which is fulfillment. So a lot of times people try to fill that void with, other things like, spending, or, material things, or overeating or drinking. But what we truly desire is that, that completion, that offer of love, of happiness, of, the Holy Grail, the Ace of Chalices. So what is your Ace of Chalices? What is it that you truly desire? And you head into the last quarter of the year with, for the month of October, the High Priestess. This is number 2 of the Major Arcana. For November, you have number 5 of the Major Arcana, the Hierophant. And you round out the year with the 6 of Earth. This is the 6 of Pentacles. It's called Beauty in this deck, but 6 of Pentacles. And the overall energy for the last quarter is the 2 of Swords, right? Typically, the 2 of Swords, it can be referred to as like the stalemate card. It's being unwilling or unable to make a decision about something. I'll give you the different interpretation from this deck in a second. But let me just go through the main, the 3 cards for this last quarter. So the High Priestess, she sits between, she's sort of the veil between our realm and the spiritual realm. And she encourages us to tap into the hidden knowledge, right? She is the keeper of this hidden knowledge. And she encourages us to tap into our own psychic abilities and intuition, to uncover the knowledge of the hidden realms. So there could be, again, and she sits across from here, the moon. So again, this, paying attention to your dreams, paying attention to the messages that come through in these, non-traditional ways. So through repeating numbers, signs, synchronicities. It could be a very spiritual month for you, right? A great focus on spirituality, or a need to focus on your intuition and using your intuition. It could be extremely heightened during the month of October. And November, you have another spiritual card with the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant is this spiritual figure. He can be like a spiritual counselor. He can also be, he represents like large institutions, because think of, the church. The church follows law. I mean, it has all the ceremonies. It follows like that has a traditional way of doing things. And so he's usually associated with, these large institutions such as religious institutions, the government, court systems, educational institutions like universities, right? And it can also be more, on a spiritual level, and he does come after this high priestess. It can also be, you connecting with your higher self. So seeking out this spiritual knowledge, connecting again with these messages that might be coming through to you, right? In these, again, it's like a continuation here of the high priestess. So, those could be two very significant, very spiritual months for you, October, November. And the year ends with this Six of Earth, Six of Pentacles, which, it's usually, we think of it as like the mentor-mentee card, because there's usually a person who, supposedly has more to give, is able to offer, to help others, and then there's somebody on the receiving end. With earth energy, it can be, money. This can have to do with material possessions, but it doesn't have to be, right? It can have to do with other resources, such as our time, giving of our time, volunteering of ourselves. But there's a give and take here, right? There's a balance. There's, if you have enough and are able to give, you do so. If you're on the receiving end, then it's being grateful, having gratitude for the help that you are receiving, because you never know, when you're going to be on the other side and you can help somebody else. So there's this a joy of giving here, and a gratitude of receiving and a joy of giving. And it's about, if you are on the giving end, of being grateful for the good fortune that you have, and then good fortune also coming to you by you giving back to others. So there's this, this give and take energy with this Six of Earth. And then going back to what I was saying about the Two of Swords, yes, usually the Two of Swords, it shows, there's usually a woman, and she's blindfolded, and she has like swords crossing her chest in a very defensive pose. And it, it usually speaks of a decision that needs to be made, but for whatever reason, the woman is unable or unwilling to see the truth in a situation or to make a decision about something. This, in this particular deck, is quite different, right? You can see that the woman here, there's this calmness, there's a stillness, there's a peace, right? So I think that, and again, I'm getting this very sort of spiritual energy here with the High Priestess, the Hierophant, this peace. So after some type of difficulty, there's like peace has been restored here. Something new is blooming. And I think that, you found balance. I feel that by the time you get to the end of the year, you've reached, it's like you're on a higher level, you're on a different level spiritually, and you are at peace. It's like what you've been searching for, what you've been trying, what you've been trying to find, or what you've been trying to figure out throughout the whole year. It's like it finally, by the end of the year, you found it, right? And your overall energy for the year, you have going with the flow. Okay, and again, this Osho Zen deck, it's quite different, and the messages, are also quite different for the cards. This is the Ace. It will be the Ace of Cups, which is interesting because I was saying over here, right? What is it that you are looking for? What is your Ace of Cups? What is, what is the Holy Grail that you are searching for? And you have that as the center of your spread, as your, the overall message for 2019. Well, the Ace of Cups usually give you the general meaning for the Ace of Cups. Aces are new beginnings. Aces are blessings. Aces are the universe offering a brand new something to us. With this being cups, This could be a brand new relationship. This could be something, like a job or a new opportunity that brings us great joy, that fills our soul, that fills this void that we have. It's what we always wanted, right? It can be a new offering of love. It can be a new relationship. It can be a pregnancy, and we have that over here as well. What is it that is going to fill your void? What is it that you are, deeply hoping for and needing? You have that at the center. You have that as your, like, the whole energy for 2019. So it's coming in, and it's a blessing, right? Now, it's called in this deck going with the flow, and we can see, let me hold it up again. You can see that there is this, this figure kind of floating, looking completely relaxed, right? Completely at ease, allowing the water to take him wherever, right? He's not swimming, he's not struggling, right? He is just being passive. He is just surrendering to, being sort of moved through life, moved through or moved to where he needs to go. And so the message that goes along with this card, and I'll read you it. It says, when I say I become water, I mean I become a flow. I don't remain stagnant. I move and move like water. Lao Tzu says, the way of the Tao is a watercourse way. It moves like water. What is the movement of water or of a river? The movement has a few beautiful things about it. One, it always moves towards the depth. It always searches for the lowest ground. It is non-ambitious. It never hankers to be the first. It wants to be the last. So ambition means going uphill. Water goes down. It searches for the lowest ground. It wants to be a non-entity. It does not want to declare itself unique, exceptional, extraordinary. It has no ego idea. So, this go with the flow, it's about, at this point, it indicates that you are able to float. You're trusting that, the universe is really supporting you. It's taking you exactly where you want to go. So you're trusting, you're releasing, there's peace, right? And I get that here. I get that, by the end of the year, it's like you're surrendering, you are accepting, and you are being led to exactly where you need to be. There's a lot of spiritual growth. There's a lot of soul searching, but there's a lot of growth this year, and I think that by the end of the year you will end up exactly where you need to be. So it looks like a wonderful year. I do hope that the messages have helped. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful 2019. Bye for now.